Well, let's face it, we live in a world where computer security is very important, and keeping our Windows 8 computer secure can be accomplished through many different options. One of them is Windows Update. We're going to look at it now. Keeping your computer up to date with the latest software and security updates can be achieved automatically or using a number of settings. So, here from our start screen, we can access Windows Update directly from our settings, or we can go up to the top right corner, let's say, and click the search charm. And from here, let's just start to type in Windows Update. You'll notice when we go to Settings, we do have Windows Update available to us from here, as well as Check for Updates, which is a part of Windows Update. So let's give Windows Update a click. Takes us to our settings. Now we could have just gone to PC Settings and selected at the very bottom here Windows Update. And from here, you'll notice over on the right-hand side that we're automatically set up to install updates by default. Now that's my setting. Yours may be different, and I'll show you where we change those settings momentarily. But for now, here's where we go to check for updates whenever we're ready. So instead of waiting for our settings to do it for us, we can check for updates at any time by clicking Check for Updates. But instead of doing that, we're going to go to our desktop. So let's close this up. I'm going to go to the very top, click and drag it down to the very bottom. I'm going to go to my desktop now. And here from the very bottom left-hand corner, right-click the Start icon and click Control Panel. From our Control Panel, we can also access Windows Update. Now, one of the options, instead of browsing through the various sections and subsections, notice that there is a flashing cursor in the top right-hand corner. Just type in Windows Update, and you'll see it narrows it down. There it is. We can check for updates, install optional updates. All these options fall under the heading Windows Update. So let's click that heading, which takes us to that section of our control panel. Notice it's under System and Security, and we can go back through that at any time. Now from here, you'll notice that indeed we are set up to automatically install updates. That's what I see on my machine. You might see the same if you haven't changed any of your defaults. You'll also see some information about recent checks for updates. If any updates were installed, looks like I did have something done today, earlier on today. And notice that we receive updates for Windows only on this computer. Now over on the left-hand side, you'll notice we can check for updates, just like we could from our Windows 8 environment. We can change the settings. Clicking here is where you go to change those defaults. Installing updates automatically, which is recommended, is the default. And you can see that's what's chosen on my computer. But we could have updates downloaded, but be prompted to install them. So we can choose whether or not we want to install the updates. Check for updates, but let me choose whether to download and install them. Or we could choose never check for updates. Of course, that means our computer won't be so busy, always browsing the internet for updates and downloading them, possibly installing them. But you'll miss out on many of the important security updates that Microsoft sends out on a regular basis. So to keep our computer secure, it's probably important that we at least choose something like download updates and then choose whether to install them. I'm going to switch to that one. Notice that updates will automatically be downloaded in the background. And a little further down, you can see there's a check mark next to Give Me Recommended Updates, the same way I receive important updates. So recommended updates are not necessities, but they are recommended from Microsoft, and we can pick and choose which ones we want to include and install. And all we have to do to select the setting and secure it is click OK. Now you'll notice that you're set to automatically download updates is the message if you followed along with me. And they will not be automatically installed, but will be prompted to, so we'll know when those updates come along, and then we can choose at a time that's convenient for us to install them. We can also go to our update history to see what's happened. You can see all of these different updates. Look at all the updates for Windows Defender, speaking of security. So all of these were done automatically. Status, you could see succeeded. There was a recommended one that was also installed because of my defaults. Of course, now I'm going to be prompted for any and all of these and download the ones that are important to me. All right, so let's click OK. And we'll close this up, return to our start screen by pressing the Windows key on the keyboard, and we'll continue from here.